Get more physical. It worked. And the hitter on offense is Eddie George.
Well, Eddie George set the tempo 2 weeks ago against Jacksonville, getting his first 100-yard game of the season. And he's been matched by Steve McNair, who's been efficient and has taken care of the football. On the other side of the field, the Cincinnati Bengals are a team desperately looking for their first win, but they feel they've always got a chance if they can give Corey Dillon the ball enough times.
We'll be back with the Titans and the Bengals, but first a word from your local station.
You to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Welcome to Cincinnati, where today the Titans meet the Bengals. Good afternoon, everyone. Don Crickey with Steve Tasker. The question surrounding the winless Bengals is, when will professional pride boil over into a victory? Well, quarterback Jon Kitna thinks today, Steve.
Well, to do that, the Cincinnati Bengals offense, with Jon Kitna at the helm, is going to have to play absolutely mistake-free football. On the other side, look for the Titans to use Eddie George to set a physical tone. The Titans want to jump all over the Bengals very early.
We'll be back with the opening kickoff in a moment.
Commitment! Commitment! Got a commitment! Commitment! Let's not let each other go! Wake up, John! Wake up!
Welcome back to Cincinnati. Playing conditions are excellent. You see the temperature in the mid-50s. Overcast day as Jeff Fisher and his team coming off a bye week, as are the Bengals. And Fisher very encouraged by the way his team played the last time out against Jacksonville.
Well, they upgraded their physical nature of play, Don, and that's been their identity over the past few years.
There's Dick LeBeau, his counterpart, looking at his team to snap out of it. In the bye week, he's been stressing enough is enough. Let's draw the line. This is a team that won its last 2 games last season. In fact, the last team that the Bengals have beaten, the Tennessee Titans, in the final game of the 2001 regular season, which was actually in January of '02. There's the deep man now for the return for the Bengals. Brandon Bennett is back deep. Into the ball, kicking off is Nedney. A short kick. Up back gets the ball. This is Lorenzo Neal, normally a blocker, and Neal fights his way out close to the 29-yard line. And a good starting field position for quarterback Jon Kitna and the Bengals offense. Bengals quarterbacks this season have thrown only 2 touchdown passes and a league-high 13 interceptions. As you pointed out, Steve, mistakes have been killing this team. As Jeff Fisher told us yesterday, they've got good players, but they've been stopping themselves.
Well, the Bills have a lot of talent on both sides of the football, but they have their mistakes have been their undoing. And to make immediate improvement, which they have to do, all they have to do is worry about themselves.
And not turning the ball over. Here is first down. Corey Dillon, and they're playing him all the way. Very good defensive scheme there. As coming up to make the stop was 98 Robert Smith. The offensive blocking front for Jon Kitna, a rookie at left tackle, Levi Jones. Mike Goff is back at right guard. He's been hurt. Good talent on the offensive line. Dillon and Neal the backs. Chad Johnson and Peter Warrick the wideouts. A rookie, Matt Schobel, starts at tight end. He could see the ball frequently today. Here is Kitna swinging it out. Lorenzo Neal turns the wrong way. He had room to go. Looking for tacklers that weren't there, and the play results in a gain of only about 2 yards, if that. Samari roll, not big, but he comes up hitting. There's the front. Kevin Carter having a terrific year. Thornton Ford and the rookie Carlos Hall, a very fast pass rusher. On the defensive front, Sermon, Chamberlain, and Bullock. Back the line for the Titans. Dyson and Roll at the corners. Schulters and rookie Tank Williams at the safety.
That's Jim Short's defensive coordinator of the Titans. They want to make a statement early, Don. When a team is down like the Bengals have been, you want to hit them in the mouth early.
Penalty markers thrown immediately in the backfield of the Titans as the swing pass goes to Corey Dillon on a 3rd and 8 play. If the play goes, it's short of a first down, but let's see what the call is. Andre Dyson hit him out of bounds. As soon as the ball was snapped, Steve, Fisher way back through a flag.
There's 3 of them out there, and they probably had 12 men on the field or an illegal substitution of some sort.
You can do it in Canada.
Yeah.
Play with 12 and see Jeff Fisher.
Illegal substitution. Defense, 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
One of the things the Titans are very good at is getting different personnel packages on the field. They confuse quarterbacks that way, and sometimes if you're not smooth in your communication on and off the field, like one guy doesn't get the message and forgets to come off.
So an early mistake results in a 5-yard play, but it does give the Bengals, who would have had a punt had the play gone, gives them a third down and a long 3 now.
Man, wait for the whistle.
Getting it with the lone back. That's Rorick. Starting in motion. Getting it, gets some time. Makes the throw. Makes a connection. And Chad Johnson is across midfield. So the extra man on the field, Steve, was expensive for the Titans. Instead of getting the ball back on a punt, getting it for the first time, they give up a 17-yard pass play.
And then went right at Samari Roll as he came in and tried to break on the football. You'll see here he ends up on the ground as the turf gives way, and Chad Johnson, being a guy who is used to playing here at Paul Brown Stadium, knows you got to keep your feet under you and make your cuts a certain way on a bad field.
So a 17-yard gain. Bengals feel it's imperative they get off to a good start and don't have to start throwing from behind. And now markers go down. It looked like a Titan jump there. We'll see if he was drawn off by a false start. It is against the Titans. So 2 early penalties against the Titans.
You know, Don, we knew the Tennessee Titans wanted to come out and jump out early.
91, defense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And one of the things that happens when in an early game where you want to get off to a fast start like the Titans do is you're a little hyped up. And they came out, had 12 men on the field, missed a call. They're jumping off sides, trying to jump the snap. And that's all the signs of a team that's maybe pressing to jump a little too early.
Yeah, they definitely want to go up on the Bengals and make them play from behind. The Bengals have kind of cashed in when they've fallen behind in this losing streak to start the season. Here's a throw by Kittner. What a beauty that was. What a knockout hit. But Chad Johnson holds onto the ball despite the big hit put on by Keith Bullock. That's a 13-yard gain and another first down for the winless Bengals.
Well, you got to tip your hat to Chad Johnson for taking this hit. But watch there at the top, you see Andre Dystom, and once again the defensive back slips and watches. That's a big hit by Keith Bullock. Chad Johnson wants to let him know he's going to be there all day. Well, Chad Johnson, quite an engaging young guy. We spoke with him yesterday.
And he has made a couple of big catches for first downs in this opening drive, hitting a 3 for 3. Here's Corey Dillon, and Dillon turns the corner. He's heading towards the end zone, and he's knocked out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. They'll spot him out right at the 5. So his first run of the day is good for 24 yards.
The Bengals are doing a good job, Don, just staying disciplined. They're not doing anything outrageous. They're just hanging on to the football, running their bread and butter plays. The lead draw behind Lorenzo Neal. That's what they do. They've made a couple of passes to Chad Johnson to keep the defense honest, and now they're doing what they do best, handing it to that guy.
You know, as Don Shula once said when asked about a player making a little mistake, he said, in football, there are no little mistakes. That 12th man on the field was an expensive mistake. It gave them another chance at third down, and the Bengals have kept it going. And now, not seeing what he likes, Steve, in the defensive front, Kittner calls the timeout. So we'll be back to Paul Brown Field in a moment. Back at Cincinnati, Dick LeBeau's winless Bengals, who've not scored a first-quarter touchdown this season, are threatening now in this opening drive. First down and goal at the Titans' 5-yard line. Dillon gets down to the 1. John Thornton got him down with linebacker help. At a second and goal from very close.
You have 4 wide receivers in the game and then hand it to your big battering ram right up the middle. And Don, when you get down this close, not only is it crucial that the Bengals score here and make a huge statement about this game, but it's also crucial that this team runs the football down close. It changes everything for the Titan defense.
They want to keep Corey Dillon in the game, and of course the Titan defense wants to take Corey Dillon out of it. Here's a handoff, a fake and a throw, and a wide open receiver, Lorenzo Neal. And all of a sudden, the Bengals of Dick LeBeau look pretty good. So Going right down the field, but that 12th man on the field was huge. A mistake by the Titans that allowed the drive to stay alive.
That's their first offensive touchdown in the first quarter this season. And that will do wonders to boost their confidence, Don. You'll see here, they've been hammering Corey Dillon. They fake the play, and the blocking fullback, Lorenzo Neal, just sneaks out. That's a classic football play. It's nothing special. I mean, that's what fullbacks do. They either block or they fake and catch a little dink pass.
Yeah, it was a terrific fake. Now the point after is knocked up and through by Neil Rackers, and so the Bengals go down the field, 7 plays, 71 yards, scoring on a 1-yard touchdown pass play from Kitna to Neal.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Toyota. Get the feeling. Open, the small business network from American Express. New tools for a small business economy. And by T-Mobile. Get more minutes, more features, more service.
The Titans, aided by a couple of penalties, they're going to get hurt by a couple of penalties, have now given up the first 7 points of the game, and they'll see if they can respond, Steve, as that extra down they got. And the 12th man allowed the drive to stay alive. They hit after that a 17-yard third down pass, and that was a big play besides Dillon's run. And here is a return by Eddie Berlin. And Eddie is out to about the 25-yard line where Lamont Thompson brings him down. Here comes Steve McNair out to quarterback the team. McNair hitting 65% of his passes, 9 touchdowns, and as you see, 9 interceptions. He's been sacked 12 times. He's run 23 times for over 5 yards a rush. Most importantly for Steve McNair, he feels good. He's had so many injuries. This guy will play where most guys would be in the hospital. He's out in the field, but now he's healthy again.
Yeah, he's refurbished after the bye week as well. He feels good and he's ready to play. If he protects the football today, they're a tough team to beat.
We'll see if the Titans can respond. Play fake, taking a shot over the top. Long ball, receivers there. And it's broken up at the last second as they try to go deep to Kevin Dyson. Jeff Burris, number 21, recovered while the ball hung in midair. Throw was right where it had to be, but the coverage was good.
Well, Jeff Burris, who came over from Indianapolis, is a really good, experienced cornerback. He closes on this ball after it's in the air. You see there, he closes the distance between himself and Dyson. And this is what happens. You see him do the baseball roll, rolls out opposite way of the receiver to pick up the speed, finds the ball in the air and just knocks it away. Almost comes up with the interception.
Interesting, Steve. We spent a lot of time with Dyson on the field before the game, and he was out early working on his deep routes. Now we know why. First play was going to him. Here's a run by Eddie George. He's taken down by defensive end Justin Smith. Look at the offensive front of the Titans. Hopkins, Pillar, DiNapoli, Olsen, and Miller. George and Mike Green the backs. Mason and Dyson the wideouts. Frank Wycheck, who's caught a pass in 93 straight games, starts again at tight end. Third down. And the Titans need a long 3. Almost 4. From the shotgun. McNair fires and hits a strike for a first down. Nicely done by Tennessee. As they go again to Dyson, this time on a short route. And he's quickly hit by Burris. A gain, though, of 4 yards and a first down. Defensive front of the Bengals, Whittington, Gibson, Williams, and Smith. Good linebackers in Ross, Simmons, and Spikes.
A lot of speed in their linebacking core, Don.
Very fast linebackers. And Burris and Hawkins at the corners. Hall and a rookie, Marquand Manuel, are the safeties. They'll be trying to take some shots at the rookie. They always do in this league. He cracks open the defensive front of the Bengals, and Eddie George busts straight ahead for a gain of 18 yards and a first down. Stopped by Manuel.
You watch here as the motion comes around. They fake a reverse. That blocks the defensive end. You've got a receiver blocking one of the bigger guys on the field by not even touching him. That's a great philosophy you'll see a lot of teams do. It's one way to get big guys on big guys and open up the running game.
That was a nice looking play. Well conceived, and it's first down Titans. Ball just short of the Bengals 45. McNair throws, and the connection's made down at the 34-yard line. Are they going to rule him inbounds? Yes, apparently they are. Both feet were in for Kevin Dyson, so a very well-executed pass play, good for an 11-yard gain and a first down.
Well, the quarterback playing way off was expecting a linebacker to come out underneath and kind of scare the quarterback off the throw. The linebacker couldn't get there in time. McNair let it go early, and for that reason, Dyson broke his route off underneath the deep coverage of the cornerback. And because McNair got the ball so fast, got away so fast, that play was wide open. There's Mike Heimerdinger, who is in charge of these guys, and he's got one tough quarterback to work with who feels good for a change.
Yeah, they said this year's the first time during the bye week he's able to go home to his farm in Mississippi, Steve McNair. Usually he's been getting treatment for shoulder problems and back problems.
I'll tell you what, Don, there's nothing like a couple of days off that refresh a guy mentally. And that's, at this point of the season, mental freshness is as important as physical freshness.
Well, we'll see how fresh they are as they're responding well to that opening drive of the Bengals. Here's another throw and a catch, as McNair is putting laser-sharp passes right on the hands of his receivers in coverage. An 8-yard gain as the ball is caught by Derek Mason, and the Titans are glad to have him back. Mason troubled by a shoulder problem, but had a very good week of practice.
Well, Steve McNair stuck that right into traffic, and Derek Mason, heads up enough, hit it right in his chest, grabbed it. And there were some questions because Jeff Fisher told us, yeah, Derek Mason's been practicing stuff, but he hasn't been whacked yet. I want to see how he does after he gets hit.
Well, you don't have to wait long in this league to find out.
They just did.
Second down. Long two. Eddie George busts the middle, and Eddie George takes it inside. Ball down the field, and the Bengals have it. So George, who looked like he might be heading to the end zone the way he was breaking tackles, pops up the ball, and big Bernard Whittington is on it quickly. Only the 7th takeaway of this season for the Bengals.
It doesn't matter how your season's going, Don, or who you're playing. If you turn the ball over, you're going to lose the football game.
Game day kicks off in the dawn's early light. Work behind the scenes to get it right. From the pigskin makers to the hard hat men, the special teams and the big game plan. This is for the people who never play it down, but really make it rock when the game's in town. This bucks for you, and you and you and you. This bucks for you.
Yes!
Yes.
What is it?
What is it?
We found a seller, Kim & Sons.
We found a buyer.
Where?
On the web.
Where are they? On the web.
It's a huge order.
It's half the cost.
It must be from overseas.
Well, it must be from overseas.
We're going to make a fortune.
We're going to save a fortune.
Thank you, Archie.
Thank you, Kim & Sons.
IBM can help small companies sell to big companies, wherever they are.
We build it to withstand earthquakes, the elements, anything you can imagine.
At Toyota, we build to withstand the things you can't imagine. The Tundra was given the highest overall safety rating for full-size pickups by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. The Toyota Tundra, better from the ground up.
CBS Tuesday, a female officer is accused of sexual harassment.
The signals were unmistakable.
And her defense could end her career.
How many men have you been with?
An all-new Jag. Then, when this attorney meets the client from hell...
You were a coke addict, right?
There'll be disorder in the case.
He doesn't like what he's wearing.
An all-new Guardian after Jag. CBS Tuesday.
Eddie George, a ferocious competitor, furious that he coughed up the ball when it looked like the Titans were going to take it in for the tying touchdown. But the fumble gives the ball back to Cincinnati. Here's a quick throw near side and an off-target throw as Kitten is hit hard as he releases the ball. Big John Thornton came through and blasted him. Here's how the Bengals started out in that opening drive. Chad Johnson. More Chad Johnson. Look at this hit. And then the 24-yard run by Corey Dillon. And that set up a 1-yard touchdown pass to Lorenzo Neal. And that's how it stands.
The thing about it was they spread the football around, and nobody for the Bengals made a mistake.
And the Titans have made a number of mistakes, Steve, so far in this game. A couple of penalties and then the fumble. But a lot of football to be played. Here's Corey Dillon, and Titans don't give him much. As Bullock, an outside linebacker, gets him.
Well, Corey Dillon knows what it is to play these Titans. I mean, these are the games. He's had 10 games against the Titans. He set the rookie rushing record way back when for 246 yards. Broke Jim Brown's rookie rushing record against these guys. They've never forgotten it, and he's looking for another big game today.
Steve McNair told us yesterday, so we've had trouble at Cincinnati in recent years. We've got to get off to a good start. Well, that hasn't happened. Not a good start. But let's see what the Titan defense does on a 3rd and 9, and they give it to Dillon to the Bengals. And on the draw play, the Titans are there. They're ready, and they make the knockdown and force the Bengals to punt the ball. In his weekly NFL.com column, Boomer Esiason discusses the importance of how a head coach reacts to a dip in his team's performance. Read more about it at NFL.com or on America Online. Enter keyword NFL.com. Now the punt, hit downfield by Nick Harris. Justin McCarron comes up on the ball from the 36. Turns the corner and is knocked out of bounds hard as he gets to about the 44-yard line. So the Titans will try again after a 44-yard punt and a 9-yard return.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Mazda. There's a soul of a sports car in everything we make. And by new MSN 8. It's better with the butterfly. MSN 8, more useful every day.
A Bengal tiger at the Cincinnati Zoo. Never turn your back on a tiger. They always attack from behind.
Is that right?
Yeah. That's why, though.
Not today. The Bengals on the field have hit him right in the mouth from full frontal attack. And they got a 7-point lead because of it.
Did you know Eddie George is just on fire now wanting that ball back? And they give it to him. And that time the defense is there and makes the stop as Tony Williams, 94, who has 3 sacks to lead the Bengals this year, makes the stop.
You think about this game, Don. The Bengals came out and almost were a hair's breadth away from going 1, 2, 3 and out. But they got a 12-man penalty on the defense of the Titans. It sustained the drive. They got a touchdown out of it. The Titans came back and just rolled through the Bengal defense and turned it over. The Titans, because of 2 mistakes, a mental mistake and a physical mistake, trail by a touchdown in a game they should win.
Well, we still got a long time to go, even in the first quarter. 7-0 Bengals. McNair with a good play fake. Here's a throw, and he overshoots going towards tight end like Aaron Kinney, and that was Frank Wycheck going for the ball. Knute Curtis was putting the rush on. Tim Crumry, defensive line coach, told me before the game, we've got to contain McNair. He's burned us rolling out like he did there. This week on The Late Show, Dave's all new. Don't miss brand new stand-up from Jerry Seinfeld. Plus Christina Aguilera, Foo Fighters, kids in Halloween costumes, and the latest Survivor Castaway. It's all new, all this week on The Late Show, right here on CBS. There's Tim Crumry. Told me before the game, it's all about toughness. Said everybody has physical toughness in this league. Mental toughness is what you win with. And look at the rush on McNair, but he breaks away from it. And McNair throws on the run, and Wycheck can't get to the ball as the Bengals came with a blitz. Now, while we can't have a moment, let's go to New York and to Jim Nance. Jim?
All right. Thank you, Don and Steve. The Jets first get a punt return, 63 yards by Santana Moss. And then this beautiful move by Lavertius Coles, 37-yard hookup from Pennington, 14-3 Jets first quarter. Back to Don and Steve.
Thanks, Jim. Santana Moss, Steve, starting to become the player the Jets hoped he would be a couple of years ago when they picked him #1 out of Miami of Florida. Spectacular talent at wide receiver and kick return. Now the punt hit downfield, and Hushmanzada is back, lets it roll, and it takes a Titan bounce. A great punt knocked downfield by Craig Hendrick. And the Bengals will take over the ball, but they'll take over at their 6-yard line. A 47-yard punt and no return. There on the left is back up the veteran Neil O'Donnell on the right. O'Donnell told us before the game, he's played in the league 13 years. Best coach he's ever played for is Jeff Fisher.
And he's played for some great ones. Parcells, Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher.
Corey Dillon looks for a gap, and Gillen working hard to get yards against a tough Titan defense. Frank Chamberlain, the middle backer, was the first tackler, a 4-yard gain. Has anyone ever really escaped from the rock? Well, 1,000 of the world's toughest athletes bike, swim, and run for glory at the Lamisil Escape from Alcatraz Triathlon. For more, go to CBSSportsline.com. America Online keyword CBS Sportsline.
I'd rather take the boat.
Yeah. If they had wetsuits, guys could escape from Alcatraz. Not without it in that cold Pacific water. Here is, again, Corey Dillon banging into the left side of the Titans defense, and the rookie from Stanford, Tank Williams, comes up to hit him.
Tank Williams ran him down from the far side of the field. That was a blitz from the offside, and got a chance just to run him down. And the Titans and the Bengals both bring a lot of pressure packages into games. They'll bring guys from all over the football field to try and get into the backfield and disrupt the offense.
Dillon has run 7 times for 37 yards, but 24 of the yards coming on one run. They might take him left this time. Let's regroup the big run. They're going to throw it. Timing throw, and they take a shot downfield, and the play is made. What a play by Chad Johnson, his 3rd catch of the game. And that has to be one of the great catches for anybody this NFL season.
That was a nice catch right down. It's just a fade route where Chad Johnson makes a release to the outside and then runs as hard as he can, and Kitna throws it to a spot. And you see there's Andre Dyson jumping on him. I mean, that's just a perfect throw and a sensational catch.
24 yards downfield.
John Kitna just throws it out to a spot and just hopes that Chad Johnson can get there, and he did.
Johnson is the fastest Bengal receiver in his 2nd year out of Oregon State. Now movement all over in the front. Linesmen throw up penalty markers.
Once again, the Tennessee Titans trying to jump the snap. And John Kitna is really adept at changing the cadence.
Encroachment, 30, defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Kitna changes his voice, and this is real discipline by an offense who's been making some mistakes, but Kitna, you'll see, he's just yelling it louder, and he just draws them off sides. That's nothing but fooling the defense.
And that brings up with the penalty a 1st down and 5. 3 penalties on the Titans early on, none on the Bengals so far. Corey Dillon. Excellent defense. Shuts him down for little or no gain. Actually, Brandon Bennett gave the call to there, and Bennett is ahead back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. He comes out quickly, and Dillon goes back in.
Seems like both these offenses, Don, are doing a lot of things pre-snap. When they come up out of the huddle, they'll line up and then move the shift the formation to one side or the other. The way these two defenses play, they bring people from all over, but you can confuse them when you change the strength of the formation and the people and where they line up.
Well, they're changing. There are a lot of different looks on offense. Both these teams have had a lot of time to prepare for this game as they've had the bye week. Here's Dillon. He finds a gap. And Dillon races inside the 45-yard line, and he's ahead on a 2nd down and 6 play for 11 yards and a 1st down. And if Corey Dillon gets started, anybody that's playing the Bengals has a problem.
Oh, he is a handful when he gets going, and he's already having a great first half. He started out in the slot and then moved back into the backfield by himself with 3 wide receivers on the field. You know, the more ways you can find to keep him involved in the game by putting the ball in his hands, the better chances you have of winning.
Well, Kitna told us we've got to commit to the run and stay committed to the run. They can't get out of their offense and go into a have-to-throw offense. And here is Dillon, again fighting tacklers, again a penalty marker down. Gain of about 4 yards on the play. Rookie Carlos Hall was the lead tackler for the Titans.
See, that's one of the things. Another offsides penalty by John Kitna, drawing the defensive line off. And, you know, it's funny, Corey Dillon.
91, defense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Here, Corey Dillon is out there running hard. He gets a hard-nosed 4-yard run on 1st down. It's not going to count. I mean, you give him the ball and he makes a run like that, and you get the easy 5 yards with the penalty. And you're running, you can feel good about your running game, and you haven't even had to use it yet.
Well, they're getting some great setups here with these penalties on the Titans. Here's another 1st and 5. You take a deep shot, and they're going to do it. Over the middle, open man is Lorenzo Neal, the fullback, and he thunders down to the 25-yard line. Titans working hard, Steve, at stripping the ball, but they haven't been able to do it yet.
And if you noticed it, they got that 13-yard gain off a quick snap. Instead of trying to draw them off again, he came up, and it was a very quick snap, so then the defense was caught off guard. They were waiting for the long count to try and draw off sides again, and he snapped it as soon as he got under the center. Great job by John Kitna managing his offense.
Kitna throwing the ball very well. He is 6 for 7 for 74 yards and a touchdown. Dillon again, and he breaks into the defense. He is so tough to stop. He's a combination of speed, power, and balance. He can run low, but he has a great burst.
And he also turns sideways when he runs forward. He can turn his shoulders almost vertical and just shrugs tacklers off. I mean, you see guys get a handful of him, and that time of possession is crucial. I mean, Tennessee can't win the football game if they don't have the football.
And they've been the best in the AFC, as you know, Steve, at time of possession this season, but not in this game, the Titans. And the first quarter winds down and out. And the Bengals hear something they rarely hear, and that's cheers on their home field. They lead the game 7-0. Will return to Paul Brown Stadium right after this message. A bit of an early surprise here at Cincinnati. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker as the Bengals, with a sustained opening drive, scored, and they lead the game 7-0. The Titans troubled by a fumble and a series of penalties. Now a run, and working hard to get to the 12-yard line is the fullback Lorenzo Neal. Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, join Jim, Dion, Dan, and Boomer for all the scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Nextel halftime report. Boomer will be interested to know that his famous number 7 he wore here in Cincinnati has been given to Joe Germain, former Buckeye quarterback, who is now, I think, on the taxi squad for the Bengals. So Boomer,
it's not retired.
Not retiring just yet.
Just washing it. Huh?
So here's Kitna handing off, and that is Corey Dillon. Look at him go after tacklers. He is a load. Wow. He is a hard man.
He really is, Don. You can say what you want about what's happened to this, what they've done, what they haven't done over the last 10 years. But when this guy carries the ball, I don't care if they're ahead by 20 or behind by 20.
Look at him go
he's pounding people. I mean, this guy is fun to watch. He's no fun to tackle, but he's a lot of fun to watch.
And he's found a lot of fun to watch there, Steve. The block by Matt O'Dwyer, left guard, who really opened it up. 2nd and 2 for the first down. 2nd and 5 for a touchdown. Dillon working hard. He's in. Corey Dillon goes in with the 2nd touchdown of the game. A 4-yard run, and the Bengals open up a 13-0 lead. Lorenzo Neal with a big block.
And the Titans can't believe it. They're looking around saying, what happened?
They better start believing it, because they're in deep here.
The Bengals have played outstandingly thus far in this game. They have made no mistakes. They've hung on to the football, and watch this run. He hops over one guy, runs through the arm tackle, and just pounds his way into the end zone. This is an offense that looks inspired here in the first half of this game. They're playing better than they have at any point thus far this season.
John Garrett, the Bengals receivers coach, told me before the game we've had the best week of practice maybe ever since he's been here. And it's showing up on the field. A 10-play, 89-yard drive with Corey Dillon on the payoff end. The underdog Bengals lead the game 14-0. Corey Dillon in the end zone with his 4th touchdown of the year. And the Bengals team, who've really been troubled in the red zone, have been very effective in it today inside the opponent's 20.
It's amazing how your team changes when you hang on to the football and don't make mistakes.
Mistakes so far today have been made by the Titans. Now we'll see if they respond. Here comes Eddie Berlin returning the kickoff. And trips and goes out to the 22-yard line. Let's watch the touchdown run again.
And keep your eye on Lorenzo Neal. Right here, watch as he leads Corey Dillon. He'll turn up the field and block. One guy there. Watch this now. Bang, gets his 2nd one, and Corey Dillon goes into the end zone. Lorenzo Neal is something every team needs. A guy that'll lead your star player right through the hole and get him into the end zone.
You know, Steve, during the week, Corey Dillon said if things don't turn around in Cincinnati, I'm going to have a surprise for this team at the end of the season. Intimating he didn't plan to be here. But so far today, it's worked perfectly for the Bengals, and now the Titans have to come back. Eddie George. That's a good way to start your comeback as one of the best runners in the league. He takes it across the 25 and out to the 27.
One of the things about this Bengal team, that's what they've done in the first half of the first 6 games. 17 all season. Today they've got 2 touchdowns, and I'll tell you what, it's been a different football team, Don.
At 17 points in the first half all season until today. It has been. Well, I thought a lot of these guys were furious. I mean, Justin Smith, the defensive end, he could hardly talk ourselves on the field. He just watched one of the cable channels do a 15-minute attack on the Bengals out there in Neptitude. So these guys are going to be ready today. McNair goes long, and the defense, no foul call that's ruled contact that they're both going for the ball as Jeff Burris was defending against Justin McCarron.
It gives him a 9-yard cushion. He never lets him get. He doesn't bite on the out route. He's got enough speed to stay in front of McCarron's as he turns back up the field. That's a good play. It was a good play.
You have a right to a lane to the ball.
Oh, yeah. They're both looking back for the ball, and he's running the same direction the receiver is, and he's got to step on it.
McNair has missed his last 3 throws now. He's completed 3 of 7 in the game for just 23 yards. And this is 3rd down and 5. And the Titans are forced to call a timeout because the play clock was running out.
On CBS is sponsored by Cadillac. Bold vehicles defying convention. CDW. The right technology right away. And by Domino's Pizza. Get the door. It's Domino's.
Steve, what are you going to be for Halloween this year?
I don't know.
Those 5 youngsters of yours.
Well, I've got a fireman and a policeman coming up.
My 5 are too old to go trick or I'm going to be either Buzz Lightyear or Jimmy Neutron. I think Buzz Lightyear I'm going with. Here is McNair on 3rd down. Makes a nice throw. And Derek Mason works hard and gets a first down for the Titans out to the 35-yard line. 9-yard gain on the play. See why CBS Monday is America's best night of television, starting with The King of Queens, followed by Yes Dear, Everybody Loves Raymond, and the new hit comedy Still Standing. Then don't miss TV's #1 new drama, CSI Miami, plus The Late Show with David Letterman. It's Monday here on CBS, America's most watched network. McNair and the Titans with a first down. Just across their 35. Eddie George, the big Buckeye, stopped this time. A lot of people down from Columbus to watch Eddie George, where he was a Heisman Trophy winner for the Buckeyes. Canute Curtis makes the stop. Eddie was meeting with us yesterday, but he was quick to get back to that CBS game.
You see what's happened to him, and one thing you have to remember, too, is that this number per game, these are in years as he got on that he was struggling with foot injury. He's still just inside 2 years after a bad foot injury that he had surgery on, and you get 1 full year after the surgery. Then the next year you start to feel yourself, Don.
Well, the guy worked so hard. I mean, Eddie George is the first back in NFL history to have 300-plus carries a season for the last 6 years. Nobody's done it for 6. I mean,
he has been an absolute workhorse. They've ridden him as far as he could take them. And then when he had the injury, that's when Tennessee's fortunes started to go south a little bit.
And you talk about motivation. This guy, he comes with a fire burning to be great.
He's so committed, Don. I mean, he works hard. He went out this offseason and worked out with Jerry Rice, Jerry's personal trainer. And, you know, most of these guys rank how good the year's going to be as how hard they can work in the offseason. Most of them are healing up or rehabbing.
Now let's see what they go to on 3rd down and 3. A hard throw and skips off the hands of Drew Bennett, number 83, a big lanky receiver. Bennett was a quarterback for a while at UCLA.
Yeah, you need him to make this catch. I mean, this is a crucial 3rd down catch. All catches are important, Don, but there's none more important than a 3rd and 3.
You were called on by the Bills many times to make those 3rd down catches, among other things. What's the key to making one?
Don't think about anything else. The key to it is all up between your ears. You know the ball's coming to you. Just grab the football. Don't think about getting the 1st down. Just catch it.
Catch the ball. Anything else is a bonus.
Let him go.
Here is the punt hit downfield to T.J. Hushmanzada. Hendrick with a high punt. It rolls down inside the 5-yard line, and another
great
excellent
play.
Special teams play by the Titans. Another big punt by Hendrick with no return. That was a 55-yard punt. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker back at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, with the Bengals to start again on offense deep in their own end with a 14-0 lead. That was a great special teams play by the Titans.
Yeah, it's been 2 really good punts by Craig Hendrick, putting them down inside their 20-yard line, and that just gives the Bengals a longer field to work with and gives your defense a bigger margin of error.
Now the Bengals offense has a 97-yard field to traverse if they can. And these Titans are going to be hunting the ball, looking to force a turnover. There's been 1 turnover in the game, that by Eddie George, when it looked like the Titans were going to go in for a tying touchdown in the 1st quarter. Here's Walt Coleman.
False start, 63, offense. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
And that's the first time it got him back. John Kitna, and you'll see here, and this is how they got into this position. This was great discipline on the coverage team of the Titans. As this ball bounces, the instinct for the 2 coverage guys is to touch it. They let it drop because they realize it bounced straight up, and instead of grabbing it or batting it and carrying it into the end zone, they let it bounce. They didn't touch it. They knew their teammates were going to be there to stop it outside the end zone. Great discipline by the 2 gunners of Titans.
Now they get a little breathing room, do the Bengals, as they go with Corey Dillon out to about the 3. But this is a tough place. You want to get yardage, but you don't want to risk an interception, which has been a huge problem for the Bengals. They lead the league in interception.
You talk to defensive coordinators about this area, and the thing that scares them most about having a team backed up against their own end zone is having them throw out of there. I mean, defensive coordinators are more afraid of a team backing up and airing it out back there than they are running. It's unusual, but it's true.
Here's a throw and a catch. Nicely done. This is Chad Johnson again, and he's out to a 1st down mark. He got right where he had to go. Chad Johnson has been a standout today. That was a 10-yard gain.
This is a guy that has really emerged in the last few games since John Kitna took over at starting quarterback. Chad Johnson has gotten most of his receptions this season in the last few games, and you see why. I mean, John Kitna has a lot of confidence in him. You saw the great catch on the sidelines. You saw that great move at the end of that. That just makes the quarterback want to throw you the ball more.
Well, he's going to him a lot. Thrown to him 4 times, and he's caught all 4 for 64 yards, says Chad Johnson. Pitch back. Dillon. And a great open field tackle. Coming up to make the play was Andre Dyson, one of the cornerbacks.
See, here's Chad Johnson, the plays he's made. This is a crucial 1st down on the first drive that helped sustain it for a touchdown. This is another 1st down catch and takes the big hit, and then the great catch down the sidelines for the big play to sustain that drive. And here, the great move you just saw. This is what the Bengals have needed. When you're on a good team, you expect good things to happen. When you're on a bad team, you're waiting for the bad things to happen. And now the Bengals today look like they're on track.
Now it's 2nd and almost 15. A loss of 5 yards on the carry by Dillon on the great open field tackle by Dyson. Kitna gets time. He's not mobile. He does well to get back a couple of yards. Raiders and the Chiefs, 2 outfits that hate each other, going at it at Kansas City. Here's Jim Nantz.
All right, and the Raiders lead it on this little flip here from Gannon to Doug Jolly. 7-3. Raiders lead in the rain. Let's go back to Don and Steve.
Thank you, Jim. One of the problems with the Raiders, a great start they have, but they have more players over 30 than any team in the NFL. And guys over 30, Steve, get hurt.
And it's a long, long season. It's a long season, Don. And it takes about 3 or 4 twists and turns before you finish up.
It's really a series of 4 game seasons. I think teams get hot. Oh, that's a tip ball and almost a play on it. Henry Ford, a big defensive tackle from Arkansas. Tipped the ball. Steelers rolling at Baltimore. Here's Jim again.
Boy, are they ever, Don. It's Burris again from Maddox. It's the second time they've hooked up for a score today. 4 times overall since Maddox took over at quarterback. 21-3 Steelers, looking strong. Back to you.
And back here in Cincinnati, we have the Bengals ready to punt the ball from their end zone. Their first punt of the day, with 8:01 left to play in the first half.
You know, we were talking about how the season changes and turns. The Bengals starting 0-6 and now looking sensational here in the first half. And the Steelers starting their season out horrendously with 2 huge losses, now looking like world beaters. I mean, it's a long season, Don.
So you said it, a lot of twists and turns. And here is a booming punt down to McCarron's at the 35, to the 40, 45, 50, and a good return by Justin McCarron's. And he's to the 48-yard line. Brad St. Louis, the long snapper, makes the stop. It was a 53-yard punt and a 17-yard return. And there is a holding call signaled on the kicking team. That's against the Bengals.
Holding, 48, kicking team, penalties decline, first down.
Getting field position on the plus side of the field. You got to go with the field position. But before we do, there's a timeout with the Bengals in the lead, 14-0.
Is sponsored by Gateway, a better way, and by Staples. Get back time. Go to Staples.
14-0. The Bengals lead the Titans. Get all of your fantasy football updates and check out other great fantasy games. It's all at CBSSportsline.com or on America Online under keyword CBS Sportsline. So far, not much passing yardage for the Titans. McNair just 32 yards, hitting 4 of 9 throws. Might open it up pretty soon. They're going to take shots over the top. Here's a throw and a nicely caught ball as Mike Green, a 250-pound fullback, makes the grab, and then a penalty marker comes in after the play, and it looks like it's on the Bengals. 11-yard gain.
Yeah, nice catch is right. Mike Green starting for Greg Camella, who's injured.
Banged up his shoulder, Greg Camella did. Last game against Jacksonville.
Personal foul, face mask, 98, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
As Canute Curtis, you'll see here as he turns up the field. And I don't know if that's a 15-yard or not. I don't think he grabbed anything.
Well, now the Titans finally are beneficiaries of a call going their way, and
that's a big play.
They have to capitalize here to get back in this. That was a bad call. He was
25. It turned out to be a 25-yard gain on that play. As you see, Canute Curtis, the guy who was flagged for that, and I guess Cook Don and I feel unjustly.
Well, it looked like he grabbed the back of his helmet. At any rate, they got a better, closer look than we do, and that was the call, and now the Titans go 1st and 10. Eddie George looks for a gap, and George is taken down after a gain of about 3 by defensive end Justin Smith.
You know, Don, you ask yourself, why are the Bengals playing differently in this game than they did all season? I mean, they really look good. You see there the 2 running backs, but the Bengals have had to listen to the same thing that the nation at large has listened to about this Bengals organization. They're not very good. They're not going to win any games. Their players take it personally, and that leads to a great amount of motivation on a day like today.
Well, they finished last season with 2 wins. The last was over the Titans. Had a 4-0 preseason. Were #1 in the NFL in offense in the preseason, and weren't ready to play on opening day against San Diego. I saw the game. They haven't come back from that. Here is a throw and a catch to Eddie George as he drives down to the 15-yard line to bring up 3rd and short. 6-yard gain on the play.
And that was well executed by the Bengals and the Titans as well. As the Bengals come on a big blitz, both linebackers, Simmons and spikes up. McNair sees it, Eddie George sees it. And that's professional football at its best, Don. It really is. A big blitz by the defense and a quick throw and read by both the receiver and the quarterback, and then a defensive back closing and make the tackle.
And now an interesting play call here, Steve, as we have 3rd and less than 2. Power set, double tight ends, I formation, 1 wide receiver. Play fake, McNair takes a look, he's in trouble, throws the ball, and it's incomplete. And the Titans will have to go to their field goal unit. Bernard Whittington and Canute Curtis were putting the heat on Steve McNair.
Well, Steve McNair threw that one away. He had no intention of getting that ball caught by anybody. He saw nobody there. He threw it at the ground at the goal line, but he was hip deep in Bengals when he turned around after that play fake. The Bengals were all over that boot from the word go. That had no chance.
The boot being the bootleg, and they did that earlier too. Remember that all-out blitz? Well, Tim Crumrye tell us before the game, we've got to keep him in the pocket. Steve McNair, when he's healthy, is just too much of a force when he's rolling out. The field goal is hit from 33 yards out. Nicely done by Nedney, and the Titans are on the board, albeit with 3. Steve McNair going over some pictures on the sideline that are sent down from on high about the defenses.
And there's a lot of pictures they need to look at after that drive. The Bengals brought a lot of exotic blitzes up the middle, a lot of heat, sent a lot of people after McNair, trying to force him into a mistake or a bad throw.
Now Nedney, who hit the field goal, kicks off a high spinning kick a bit short. Brandon Bennett from the 10. 20. He's got a lane. Bennett turns the corner at 30 and out to the 37-yard line. So a 27-yard return by Brandon Bennett. Finally run out of bounds by Dane and Sidney. Tonight on CBS, Libby Parsons was convicted of murdering her husband. Now she's out to prove he was alive all along. Don't miss Ashley Judd and Tommy Lee Jones in the action thriller Double Jeopardy tonight on CBS, America's most watched network.
Well, a lot of people thought the Bengals were dead.
Yeah. They were still alive all along.
Not so.
Like Ashley Judd, husband Tommy Lee Jones. Movie husband. Play fake. Kidner takes a look. Throws up the middle, and Lorenzo Neal did not make the catch, and the ball was separated from him quickly by a very aggressive middle backer, Frank Chamberlain, as Randall Godfrey's now missed his 4th game at middle backer.
And the problem with that play, Don, was both receivers were well covered. They dropped all 4 defensive backs in, doubled both wide receivers, and let the front 7 take the backs and running backs. They just didn't get the defensive backfield up into the mix of the run game yet.
So it's 2nd down and 10 with 5:24 to go in the first half. Dillon, and a penalty marker's thrown by the umpire, which would indicate holding most often. John Thornton grabbed Corey Dillon around the ankles and held on.
If he doesn't make that grab, that's a big run, Don.
Holding it is. Big John Thornton trots off the field.
63, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
The Titans, they held Fred Taylor to 59 yards rushing in the last game.
Watch this tackle as Corey Dillon grabs it. And if Thornton doesn't make this grab, there's nobody out there. Corey Dillon had the angle to the sideline, was going to turn the corner. When he turns the corner, he's a big man that can run.
He can run fast. Here's the 2nd down throw, and it's off target as they're looking at the young tight end, Matt Schobel, the rookie from TCU. And it is incomplete and brings up 3rd in a very long play.
And there's no pass rush really on John Kitney. He's sitting back there. He's got a lot of time to throw. What he needs now is to have some receivers get some separation. You'll see there, just missed Schobel on that throw. And now, you know, on a throw like that, it's 2nd and 20. All they wanted was to get half of it. Instead of 3rd and 20, it would be 3rd and 10. But now they've got the long yardage.
Kitna has missed his last 4 throws after completing his first 7 passes. Here comes a rush. He gets it away, and it's off the hands of Corey Dillon. So 2 consecutive incompletions. The first was a bad throw. The second was a drop by Dillon. And Carlos Hall, a guy that the Bengals were concerned about, the rookie pass rushers from Arkansas, putting the heat on.
Yeah, but sooner or later that'll take its toll if he can continue to get close, because John Kitna will try to make throws a little quicker than perhaps he would like. And sooner or later that pass rush affects everything about your offense.
And it forces 4th down punt. McCarron comes up and fair catches the ball at his 36. So with 4:56 left to play in the first half, the Titans get the ball again with just 3 points of offense so far today.
One of the things about it at this point in the season, you get a chance to see guys do some special things. Walter Payton in 1984. I was in college watching it in Northwestern in Chicago. What a day that was, as he broke Jim Brown's all-time rushing record. And it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, I got to tell you.
And a lot of people don't realize about Peyton, Steve, until late in his career, he never ran behind a Pro Bowl lineman. They didn't have any in Chicago. Late in his career, they had some. Here is McNair. He's on the run. He is a hard guy to tackle. And he slides across the 45 and down to the 43. 22-yard run by Steve McNair.
We were just talking about Walter Payton, and down where the Dallas Cowboys are playing, there's his rushing yards. He got 55. I think he needed 93 or 4 going into the day to break Walter Payton's record that he set in 1984.
A 22-yard gain on a scramble by McNair. Down inside the Bengals 45. McNair tries to bootleg. He makes the throw to Wycheck. And Frank Wycheck works his way down to the 37-yard line. An 8-yard gain stopped by Canute Curtis.
This play action pass that is so much a part of the Tennessee offense, where Steve McNair will hand the ball to Eddie George on a sweep play and then hang on to it and go back the other way. They run that so much that the Bengals, are every chance they get, are sending an off defensive back at the spot where they think Steve McNair is going to boot every time, and that makes him throw the football very quickly.
Harkening back to what Crumrye told me before the game, we've got to keep him in the pocket. He's just too tough when he gets out of that pocket. Now Eddie George finds a gap and explodes through it down to the 29-yard line. And he has a first down, so the Titans driving hard, down 14-3. You see the clock tipping down to 3:18 to play.
And you see here at the end of this run, Eddie George and this offense knows there's a lot of football to be played. They were trailing by 2 touchdowns. They know if they can just play their game one play at a time, sooner or later they will be back in this football game. But they got to get it going.
George, the lone setback. 1st and 10. Eddie George. And Eddie George responds with plus yards. He's ahead for a gain of about 6 before the safety Corey Hall gets him.
This is the point where you're starting to get a little more confidence as the Titans. They were coming in, they were hit in the mouth by this Bengal team. Now they've got Eddie George running, and they're getting 4 yards or 5 yards on first down, and the Bengals are starting to say, okay guys, don't let anything bad happen. You know, this is a Bengals team whose confidence they got in this first half is very fragile.
And Eddie George is getting a lot stronger with the run. He's now run 10 times for 62 yards. McNair looks towards Dyson, and beautifully done on defense by Kevin Casefaharn, a free agent cornerback who screened Dyson away from the ball. That'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
Titans taking a shot at the end zone. And no play action on that. That was a straight drop back pass on 2nd and 4. And Steve McNair had a lot of time, and this is great play calling, I think, by Mike Heimerdinger. He's giving his offense a mixture that the defense of the Bengals are finding a hard time getting a handle on.
Big call here today. Is it 3rd down and 4? They have 5 up there, but it's closer to 4. McNair hot from behind, and they're throwing a face mask penalty on Artrell Hawkins. That will be a first down for the Titans, as Hawkins flew over the blocker and grabbed grabbed Steve McNair. Got some face masks, so it'll be a personal foul, roughing the passer, and it's a first down for the Titans. And that was looked like a great play by Hawkins at first, but he did get Steve McNair's face mask.
Artrell Hawkins has to trust the fact that he's already made the play.
Face mask, number 27, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And the Bengal fans can boo it all they want, but it was a good call. And Artrell Hawkins has to know when he comes off the corner, that's him right there. When he comes off, that play's been made. As McNair steps forward in the pocket, he's got to get rid of the football. And Artrell Hawkins has got to know he's already made the play when he scares Steve McNair off the throw. Let his teammates help him out. He doesn't have to reach out and desperately grab that face mask. He's made the play already.
Dick LeBeau protesting, but it was a good call all the way, and it's a first down for the Titans at the 16-yard line of the Bengals.
No, there's no way they couldn't call. I mean, you know, Dick LeBeau may not like the call.
Glad to see Steve McNair get up and go.
That was an obvious personal foul. I mean, it was unintentional because it was desperate, but it was obvious.
And that takes us down to the 2-minute warning with the Titans driving and the Bengals leading 14-3. Welcome back to Cincinnati, where the Bengals lead the Titans 14-3. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker. The Bengals haven't had a first-half lead at halftime yet this year. It looks like they're going to have one today, but this is a huge drive for the Titans.
Well, the Bengals came out this week and said this is a new season for us. We started 0-6. We had the bye week. There's 10 games left to make something of this season. I'll tell you what, if they would have started the real season the way they've started this game, they wouldn't be 0-6.
I'll tell you, this is very big, this drive. If the Titans take it in and get it to 14-10 at halftime, it is a very different situation, but that's going to take some doing, as right now the Titans have it 1st and 10. Just outside the 16-yard line. What a play. They fake the reverse again and go right up the middle to Eddie George, and finally Corey Hall, a free safety, gets him down, but Eddie George busts off a run of 8 yards.
You'll see here as they fake the reverse, the wide receiver once again holds the pursuit on the backside. All the offensive line has to do is cave it in on the inside. They all go to one side together, and then Eddie George cuts back behind all 5 offensive linemen.
And after that early fumble, you know that Eddie George is churning. He can't wait to get the ball time and again. Eddie George again, and this time the Bengals slam the door at the 10-yard line. It'll be 3rd down, a loss of a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Canute Curtis, a linebacker from West Virginia, making an
Want to stop the run game, just get into their backfield. You see there, that's the play right there. Manuel just jumps into the backfield, closes down the room that Eddie George has to pick from, and runs him into his teammates.
Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, join Jim, Dion, Dan, and Boomer for all the scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Nextel halftime report.
Interesting play call here, Don. It's 3rd and 4, and you can get plenty of room to get a first down. Do you go for the touchdown or you go just for the first down? With 1:12 to go, you can do either one, because they're so close to they're inside the 10-yard line, and this is what the Bengals defense has to think about too. It's a chess match right here.
And it's interesting, Steve, that the Bengals defense, red zone defense, has not been good. Opponents have had the ball in their red zone 18 times this season inside their 20, and have scored 18 times, 14 touchdowns, 4 field goals.
I always thought at this point of a game you had something special for a defense that you were facing, something that they haven't seen before.
3rd down, Titans need 4. Blitzer's coming. McNair, a timing throw. And I thought that had to be interference.
Yeah.
Bengals are furious, but Case Faharn screened the receiver, Kevin Dyson, away from the ball. He wasn't looking at the ball. He was looking at Case Faharn, Dyson.
Yeah, Dyson tried to make a break on the football, and Case Faharn stood in his way and was not looking at the football at all.
Might have been an uncatchable ball, but that's...
No, I don't think so. I think he could have gotten to that football, and that's the crux of the whole problem for wide receivers, Don, because you're leaving it up to the official to say, could you have caught that ball or not? And the receivers always say, yeah, I could have made a play on that ball, and if I wouldn't have gotten interfered with.
If you're a minute bowl or something, you can get to it.
Well, that's the argument.
I think he did interfere with him. There's no question. The question would be, was it a catchable ball?
Well, wide receivers always say, you're telling me a 55-year-old official knows what I can do as a 22-year-old professional athlete. I can make plays he couldn't dream of.
Oh, that was very catchable.
And that was a very catchable football. You'll see this right here. And
there's no foul on the play. The defensive player.
Now they're picking the flag up. Not what Jeff Fisher wanted to see.
And you'll see there he's going to kick the field goal.
You've got to.
Yeah, no question about it.
4th and 4. You got to take points and go down by 8.
But we said that was an interesting play call, and the Titans did. They went for the end zone. They didn't go for the first down, just for the 4-yard gain. They went for the end zone, and that's that's the play selection they had, and that's the gamble they took.
Now a 28-yard field goal attempt by Joe Nedney. He hit from 33 earlier. Nedney drills it up and right down the middle. And so all the Titan points in this game have come off the foot of Joe Nedney. Veteran kicker from San Jose State. And there's still 1:04 or so to play in the first half, so Bengals are going to have a time to take some shots here, Steve. Next Saturday, postseason dreams are up in the air when Phil Fulmer's Tennessee Volunteers take on Lou Holtz's South Carolina Gamecocks. The action begins with Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman on Olympus College Football Today. For more, go to CBSSportsline.com. America Online keyword CBS Sportsline.
As you said, Don, 1:04 to play, and the Bengals have 2 timeouts. And I think this, more than anything, will be a test to see how confident the Bengals have become here in this first half. What do they think they can do offensively against the Titans? Because I'll tell you what, they're going to have to score more points than 14.
I know what I do. I go deep to Chad Johnson and hope for an interference if he doesn't catch it.
I agree. Get the ball or get the call.
Nedney ready to kick off now. The Bengals, who just have struggled mightily this season, 0-6, the only winless team in the league. And everybody you talk to around the league talks about this is a team with talent, but doesn't have confidence. Well, they've got some today after the way they started. And we talked to Jeff Fisher yesterday. He said he wanted to get them in the ebb and flow of a tight game and see if they cracked. Here's Brandon Bennett now down to the 10 and 15 and to the 20. And a good open field tackle is made by Rocky Boyman, rookie from Notre Dame, who's playing in his hometown of Cincinnati. Went to St. Xavier High School here. And Rocky had to dip deep into his pockets. Came up with about 30 tickets.
Yeah. Had to stick close to the television yesterday as he watched the Fighting Irish go to a 7-0.
How about 8-0?
8-0? Oh, jeez. Sacrilege.
Toughest game they have this season, though, is coming up late, November 30th, at Southern California. That's the best team on their schedule. Here is a handoff, and Corey Dillon turns the corner and gets across the 25-yard line out to the 28.
The clock stops with 53 seconds to go. Corey Dillon's a major part of this offense. You got plenty of time. If you can bust off runs like that and get the clock stopped in 2 timeouts, you have to get to your opponent's 35-yard line. That's a rule of thumb to give yourself a chance for about a 52-yard field goal.
Well, their kicker, Neil Rackers, is 1 for 150 plus. He's got a very strong leg, a bit erratic, career long of 54. This is 2nd and 4. Will the Titans send blitzers? Well, they send run stoppers as they give it to Corey Dillon. Carlos Hall, 97, a 7th-round draft choice, who's as a rookie starting for the Tennessee Titans. That was some very good scouting and drafting to get a 7th rounder that starts.
And I'll tell you, I think this shows the lack of confidence the Bengals have in their offense. I mean, they're handing it off. They're not trying to use the timeouts. Under 30 seconds to go, staying in the huddle. You see there, Willie Anderson's not happy. You see him being frustrated there in the huddle, throwing his arms down. They wanted to go for it. Not here, though.
Now they're going to take their winnings to the locker room. Back to Dillon, and he dives ahead to the 32-yard line, and that will do it.
I think that shows a lack of confidence in your players, Don. Give them a chance to be successful. Turn them loose a little bit. I think they missed an opportunity there.
That is the end of the first half with a score of Cincinnati 14 and Tennessee 6. We'll send you to Jim Nance in the studio for the Nextel halftime report. But first, this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel halftime report. Nextel, bringing you wireless solutions.
Welcome to the Nextel halftime report. Jim Nance from our studios here in New York. We have a special guest today, Dan, Dion, and Boomer, joined by Marcellus Wiley. Watching all these games, doing all these half times, and you enjoying all of this, or what?
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. Thinking about my retirement a little early already. Hopefully
you don't want to do that. This money is not the same as that money.
Oh, okay, I'll stick with that.
That's your Dion. He's the one making all the money.
You got the wardrobe to make it in this business, that's for sure.
Yeah, I went to Dallas on the way here from San Diego. Dropped by, saw your tailor. He gave me a little outfit, a little larger size, but, you know, trying to...
You're good, man. Give me some.
I got to respect you, man.
Oh, boy.
Hey, we all may have to give a little hug down here to our man Boomer, because the Bengals may get off the schneid here today.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what, the Bengals are looking good today. I'm wondering if the Tennessee Titans read all those press clippings about how bad the Bengals were. But, you know, the thing about the NFL is that there's a great deal of pride that all of these players have, and you're seeing it today from Corey Dillon-led Cincinnati Bengals.
Game ain't over yet, Boone.
All right, but just listen, let me have some fun. My boy Kenny Anderson right here, very happy.
Kenny Anderson right there, the bobblehead doll for you.
There he is right there. Are you going to win today? Yes, we are. So
yeah.
there you go. Okay.
Yeah. Oakland, meanwhile, at halftime, 7-6 over the Chiefs. We thought this would be high scoring, only one touchdown in the first half here.
Sebastian Janikowski, one of the strongest legs in the game, but that's why you play the game. This kick is blocked, recovered by Kansas City. This is turning out to be a good game. Big fella, you like what's about to happen right here.
Oh, yeah. I see Oakland's Rod Coleman getting out there, taking down Trent Green, and he need to work on that celebration. But still good play.
On the play action fake, the old-timer Rich Gannon hits Doug Jolly for the touchdown.
The only touchdown of the game to this point. How about Pittsburgh at Baltimore? Bettis is out, but we've got a new little hookup there, a combo that you got to love, Maddox and Burris.
Well, you're looking at Jerome Bettis right there. The bus is in the garage. When the bus is in the garage, who do you give it a ball to? You give it a ball to famous Amos Zaraway. On the move right here, 35 yards for a touchdown. Pittsburgh goes up 7-0 early. And then Tommy Maddox in the shotgun, who completed 11 in a row at one point in the first half. Look for his big fella down in the corner. Plexico Burris for a 20-yard touchdown. They go up 14-0 as Pittsburgh's on the move once again. There's Ray Lewis on the sideline for 3 weeks in a row now. Tommy Maddox drops back underneath the zone coverage. Plexico Burris outruns the secondary, scores, gets in the corner of the end zone. They go up 21-0. Now it's 28-3.
We do have some blowouts out there today. That's one of them. And how about the Jets over the Browns and special teams coming up? That Mike Westhoff, the Jets special teams coach, he's something special.
He really is, Jim. And here is Santana Moss, the former #1 draft choice, showing why he was a #1 draft choice. One thing I don't like about the Jets are those ugly green uniforms. But I'll tell you what, they kind of look a little fat in those things, I think. But here's Tim Couch dropping back to pass. Not a lot of highlights in the first half by the Cleveland Browns, but here's one. Dennis Northcutt, 43-yard reception that led to a field goal. But really, Chad Pennington, what can you say about this young man? Each and every week, he just seems to get better and better, and Lavernius Coles has picked up his game simply because he knows that Chad Pennington's going to find him. And right here, Chad Pennington looks and finds the old man. That's Wayne Corbett. I can't believe I'm saying he was old, but 8-yard touchdown reception. 21-6, the Jets are in control of this football game.
And Detroit's at Buffalo. The Bills scored just a few moments ago on a touchdown pass to Peerless Price. Harrington, the rookie for the Lions, with a touchdown pass, and James Stewart with a rush for a score. Meanwhile, the Bears are being blanked here by Minnesota as the Vikings play error-free football in the first half. Culpepper, 12 out of 16, and Bennett looking strong on the ground. The Falcons were down early here, 10-0, came back to take the lead 14-10. Could have, in fact, gone even bigger, but they fumbled inside the 10 in the final minute of the first half. The Bucks and the Panthers, not much happening here. Carolina starting a rookie quarterback today. Randy Fasani, a fifth-rounder out of Stanford, completing only 2 for his side, 1 for the other. And Seattle got an Alexander touchdown run. The Cowboys, of course, the focus today. Emmitt Smith, he had 55 yards rushing in that first half. He's only 38 yards away from one of the storied records in football history, the Walter Payton rushing mark. This is a double-header day on CBS. Coming up, for most of you, Denver against New England. Others will watch Houston and Jacksonville. We'll send you back to the second half in Cincinnati. Thanks for being with us on the Nextel Halftime Report.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Halftime Report. Nextel, bringing you wireless solutions.